everybody, I'm Connor, that's Doug, and welcome to the longest running school district podcast in the Puget Sound. That's right, this is the Bethel School District Presents podcast, and we've got an amazing show this week, Doug. In studio, joining us, two of our amazing directors, Darius Alexander from Community Connections, and our brand new transportation director, John West. But first, Doug, I need to hear your weekly bit of useless trivia. I've been sitting at my desk all day, waiting, wondering what it's going to be. Hit me up.
3 words, mind your business.
Wow, Doug, that seems overly harsh, but I guess we can move on if you don't have one this week.
That actually is my piece of useless trivia. We're going back to the first cent, a copper coin that was produced in these United States back in 1787. And Connor, on the back, today it says, "In God we trust." This first coin said, "Mind your business."
I actually love that. Very blunt, very American. I wouldn't mind if we brought that one back.
Well, you're in good company because Ben Franklin himself inspired the design of this coin. So the side that says "Mind your business" right above it is a sundial. And Ben Franklin once said, "Time flies, so mind your business." And then on the other side, we have 13 interlocking links representing, of course, the 13 colonies of the United States. My source this week, the Smithsonian.
Ooh, that's a good one. Very trustworthy.
Very trustworthy. You'd have to try hard to find a better source this week, Connor.
That's very true and very prophetic for this week because it happens to also be my source.
Really?
For useless trivia.
Perfect.
Which is, did you know that sharks existed long before trees?
Really? That's a very interesting fact.
It is. It's very true as well. According to the Smithsonian Magazine, sharks have been around for more than 400 million years, while trees have been around a measly 350 million years.
Well, I'm not a paleontologist or oceanographer.
No?
No.
Well, you keep telling me you are.
I keep telling you a lot of things I'm not, actually.
We'll get to what you are one of these days.
One of these days. But what I do know is that I watched a documentary. It was called The Meg, and it had Jason Statham in it. And
great documentary, by the way. I saw the second part of that documentary. I believe it was on PBS. It's called The Meg 2.
I saw that one, too.
I think Ice Cube might have been in it.
Well, if you haven't seen it, there's another one called Sharknado. That you're really going to learn a lot.
That's fake, though. I only watch the real stuff.
Well, back to business here. Joining us in the studio, our Director of Community Connections, Darius Alexander. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you.
So it is the first day of preschool and kindergarten, and your team has been busy over the summer making sure families in need have what they need to get the school year started right. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, over at the Bethel Family Center this summer, we try to make sure that we're always available to fulfill some basic needs from families. So we've had a lot of families stopping in to get things like diapers from the diaper bank, WIC services, pick up school supplies, food when they're needed. So lots of good things happen just to make sure our community's taken care of and our kids. Some of the other work that we've done in our department this summer that I'm super proud of is the feedback that we get from kids and just growing up out here. There's not a lot of stuff for us to do all the time. So I'm super, super proud over at the Bethel Family Center twice a week for 4 hours each day on Tuesday and Thursday. Big Brothers, Big Sisters have been running their Big Lift program out there. So there's a group of about 10 to 15 young men that come in and just learn and hang out, and I'm proud to say my son's in that. And when I try to pick him up early, he's like, "Nah, I'm staying right here." Also, our teen summer nights, we were able to have top-tier braiding company come out, and they just taught kids the history of braiding, how to braid hair, entrepreneurship, and then also provided some mentoring opportunities for them.
And you and your team are everywhere in the summertime. Anyone who's out there kind of sees you and sees that your presence is being felt out there. But if a family missed an opportunity to come and see you on one of those days that you brought Bob out to a community and they still need some supplies or diapers or things like that, what's the best option for them going forward at this point?
The first point of contact, I'd always go to your school counselor, and then they'll know how to reach out to us, and then we'll make sure that we're connecting with the school and getting students and families the things that they need.
And another way your team helps families is with the McKinney-Vento program. Tell us, for folks that don't know, a little bit about that.
Our McKinney-Vento program that's serving our students and families experiencing homelessness, our team is amazing. I love that they go over and beyond to make sure that every kid feels seen, every kid feels supported. They make sure they're connecting them with resources and opportunities that they may not know about. Over the summertime, what we spend a lot of time doing is really just getting prepared for next year to make sure that we can identify all the students and families that are experiencing homelessness and connect them with their schools, connect them with the right people, and connect them with the different opportunities and resources that we have.
Yeah, your team does amazing work there. Another thing that your team does is organize our annual ABC Day. So that's a fan favorite. Everyone loves it. Can you give us a quick rundown of what this year's ABC Day is going to look like?
Well, we'll have a lot of attractions and things for kids to do. We have the fire department coming out. Of course, we have our military very heavily represented. They'll be able to get on some of the vehicles and participate and learn some of the things. There even is a recruiter that comes out, and he does a whole bunch of like weightlifting, push-up, pull-up competitions that I would lose, so I just watch. And another thing that we're doing that's super, super cool is, of course, we have our community vendors, different organizations coming out and sharing the resources that they have, but we're really, really trying to highlight the amazing work that our students and teachers and school staff are doing. So this year, we're asking students in different clubs to come out and have their own booths. Talk about how they're serving our community. Talk about, highlight all the different things that they're doing and how great the job that Bethel's doing in supporting our kids.
That sounds amazing. So let's get the specifics. When and where is ABC Day this year?
ABC Day this year will be held at Graham Kapowson High School on October 4th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And I also failed to mention we have a great variety of food trucks this year, so come get your eat on. We also have our culinary program from Challenger, so kids learning how to run a business and cook. So come get some food, hang out, spray some fire, water hoses.
Nobody's going to leave hungry.
Absolutely
Exactly.
not. Well, it's going to be a great day. Darius Alexander, Director of Community Connections, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And it is a busy day here in the Bethel Podcasting Studios. We have another special guest today, John West. He is our brand new Director of Transportation. So, John, first, welcome to Bethel. Welcome to the podcast. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, and what brought you to Bethel in the first place?
Yeah, I've spent pretty close to 15 years in transportation and logistics. My journey has taken me all across the field. In personnel management and student management. Most recently, I was over at Federal Way Public Schools. I was the transportation manager over there. And then the International Union of Operating Engineers, where I was a union representative.
Fantastic. John, welcome to Bethel. One thing we like to ask folks new to the podcast is, what is something about you that might surprise people?
I am a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Wow.
Do you think you could choke Doug out? Like if I gave you $10?
Not on the clock. No.
How'd you get into that?
We were looking for something to do with the kids for self-defense and, kind of just teaching a new discipline. And we got them into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So they have nonstop been practicing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for around 4 years now. So I was coaching my son in competition one day, and I had not been practicing myself. And he looked at me in the middle of the competition, and he said, "Dad, you don't know what you're talking about."
Always inspirational to hear from your children.
That's right.
And I said, "You're right. I do not do it myself. I do not practice myself." And so I encourage myself to get on the mat and start practicing. And then the whole family does it. So we all compete and we all train together.
I love that. Man.
Very cool.
Very cool. I am surprised. So great answer. Is there anything that would surprise folks? What about Bethel drew you here?
So I've realized that in my career, I really enjoy personnel management. I enjoy processes and just being involved with the day-to-day operations. But above all, serving and supporting the students of the district. And that's what brought me to Bethel, is just being here to support the students. The community outreach that we bring here is one of the most important aspects of the job, and that's what I love most about it.
Yeah, huge aspect of the job. And, we've said this before, a lot of times for a lot of these students, the first Bethel employee they see in the morning and the last one they see in the afternoon is their bus driver. They really get to know these people, so it becomes a really important position to fill. So can you talk a little bit more about the importance of the role of a bus driver?
Yeah, that's a great question. When I think of a bus driver, I think of what they have to go through to become a bus driver for the Bethel School District. We train them through our training department. They participate in 6 to 8 weeks of training, around 320 hours of paid classroom training. After acquiring their learner's permit, they learn how to safely drive multiple styles of buses with hands-on behind-the-wheel training. When they are ready, they take a road skills test to obtain their Class B professional license. So when you think about it, our drivers are fully qualified and capable of professionally operating a single vehicle gross combination weight of around 26,000 pounds. But when I think of a bus driver, I think they are so much more.
Absolutely.
They are so much more. In order to be a bus driver for the Bethel School District, they also go through OSPI training, first aid and right response training, and PBIS training, positive behavioral interventions and supports. This is all to prepare them to be able to safely transport students. And so when you think of what role our bus drivers play, they are transporting the most precious cargo there is out there, right? A human being. And so any adult who supervises children is an educator and an influencer. And so when I think of a bus driver, they're not just opening and closing the doors. They're not just pressing the gas and brake pedals and turning the wheel. They're responsible for so much more. And like you said, they are the first person these students see in the morning and the last person these students see in the afternoon. And so we have the ability to really set the tone for our students of Bethel School District. We have around 21,539 students at Bethel School District.
Just around.
Just around.
Give or take.
And we transport on the low end of estimating those numbers, around 16,000 of those students.
Wow, that is a big portion of our student population. I didn't know that.
Around 74% of students and families rely on our services at transportation, and we take that seriously. And we really take pride in our job and pride in our drivers and all around just what we do to get kids to school so that they can have the best education possible.
That is amazing, and I'm really glad you covered all that training. I don't think a lot of people know all the things that go into becoming a bus driver. If you've inspired somebody out there, they can go to jobs.bethelsd.org. Now, a lot of people get confused when they get there because there are just substitute positions available. Talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we offer 2 different avenues of employment. One is if you're coming to us with your Class B license. We'll make sure that you have all the necessary training needed to become a school bus driver, and that would be a substitute bus driver where you come on and we have substitute routes available for you. And then once a route becomes available, then you can take on a full-time position with Bethel School District as a bus driver holding your Class B license. We also, very exciting, train in-house. So it's on-the-job paid training to become a professionally licensed Class B driver. So really you get fantastic pay and benefits as a driver for Bethel School District, a really great work schedule, including breaks and holidays off. Who doesn't love that? We provide equitable transportation solutions for those in need and the opportunity to take part in an active role in our K-12 Future Leaders for Success. So very exciting to be a bus driver with Bethel School District, and there's a lot of opportunity there.
I love that. And those breaks and time off really good for parents or grandparents that are maybe looking for a job while their kids are in school, and it matches that schedule pretty well. So that's a pretty good opportunity. Well, John West, thank you so much for joining us, new transportation director here in the Bethel School District. And one more time, jobs.bethelsd.org is the place to go. You guys are also going to be at ABC Day this year, is that right?
Yes, absolutely. We're going to have a booth there. We're going to be recruiting and just being available for those folks who have questions or interests about becoming a transportation bus driver.
Well, thank you again to both our guests this week, Darius Alexander of Community Connections and John West of our transportation team. We will be back next week with another great show, everybody. And hey, Connor, look, we did it. 15 minutes or less, nobody's getting their money back this week.
That's true, not this week, but join us again next week for another chance.